I want you to imagine a scenario. Let's say that your father, who you don't see that much, decides, hey kid, you want to go see a movie with me? And you say, okay. So you go to the movie theater, you get your snacks, popcorn, and you watch a movie. But during the movie, he just seems more interested than you are. And the moment you go home, he brings you in and says, I never really wanted to go with you. I only used you because of a discount.
This is the story of Cassandra Cain, how DC initially created Cassandra to be the new Batgirl, and after a successful run, they threw her away, never to be used again.
Now, I want you to imagine you work at DC Comics, mainly at DC editorial or the writing room. Now, you work as an editor in the Batman office. One of Robin's just died, and the office is just chaos until one day your coworkers. Hello, DC writing office. Scott! Garland? Make a new Batgirl, Asian American. I don't care how you do it, get it done! Okay then. Hey Kelly! What? Hey, new Batgirl, young, late teens, I think, and Asian, and cheerful and chipper and always up and good natured, and she has a complete and total death wish. But that doesn't even make any sense. I know. That's completely contradictory. I know. And how is that supposed to work? I don't know, got me. It's not my problem anymore, it's yours. Go! Now, Cassandra Cain first appeared in Batman number 567 during the No Mask run from Chuck Dixon. Cassandra had an unusual childhood. All she knew was she was raised in isolation alone with a father figure who never talked to her, David Cain. All she knew was he would play with her, shoot at her, and teach her combat. She has the ability to interpret and translate a person's body language, able to predict what a person is going to do before they can even do it. However, by doing so, she was deprived of the ability to speak, read, and write. She is a master martial artist, able to take down metahumans with her bare fists, dodge bullets point blank, and able to take gunmen's guns before they can fire. Like, holy shit, is she Superman? And she was the ultimate assassin. Scratch that, the ultimate weapon. She was David Cain's heir. And when she was 8, she killed her first target. But as she did, she experienced something, read something, saw something from the man's face. His body language was fear. And from doing this, from reading this, she realized what she did was wrong. And she discovered the weapon she was made to be. She didn't understand what was going on. She didn't understand the whole situation of it. All she knew was her father never truly cared for her, and she ran, and essentially became an orphan, and became a new adoptive daughter to the Batman family. And during that run, she somehow lost the ability to read people's body language. However, Lady Shiva offered a way to get that back. The only catch is that she only had 1 year. 1 year to train herself to peak condition and to have a death match with her. She had 1 year, only 1 year. 1 year to be with her family, to be Batman's daughter, to be a sister to Barbara, and to be the Batgirl to live out the life she dreamed of. And that 1 year came. She still felt she needed to atone for the life of the man she took. Every moment from that life on, she feels like she deserves, she needed to be punished. And she fights Shiva, knowing that she will die, and she did. She was raised back to life. She had her death wish, and she already paid the life of the man she killed. And now, she was able to live her life as she wanted to. She lives, exploring the world, learning there is more to her life than she was created to be.
But somewhere inside her, she felt they still didn't trust her, feared her, that her past as a killer, as an assassin, was still her most defining moment to them.
But she felt that they still pitied her. She can barely read, write, and some scared of her abilities. And a few stories that stood out to me was one story where a man who had made bad choices but genuinely loved his daughter, while her mom used her as a tool for popularity. Or when a teenager who was an assassin, a hitman, had to pay the ultimate price, but Cassandra believed in second chances. That's what her story is. To believe that people can be redeemed and can or deserve a second chance. And the Shiva run in the end of number 73, where she questions her role as Batgirl, the family. After another fight with her mom, she abandoned the Batgirl role, left her family, left her bad family, and essentially became an orphan again. And that seemed to be the end of Batgirl. Not a daughter of Shiva, not a daughter of the Bat, but a daughter of Cain. Or not a daughter of Cain, but an orphan. And DC teased the new storyline that will or would change it forever. But it never happened. There were many factors that went through that goes into the creation or production of comics and characters. One is the writer's responsibility to create the stories that people will read. The other factor is editorial, in which you decide which stories and narratives that the character should go through. During that time, DC was a mess. During her release, another Batman series, Hush, became one of the major Batman stories in 2002. Not just a Batman story, but the Batman story. Written by Jeff Loeb at the time, also known for writing stories such as Batman The Long Halloween and Batman Dark Victory, he was responsible for re-exploring most of the Batman mythos, re-exploring the Rogues Gallery, his allies, and family while introducing a new villain, Hush, and reintroduced characters such as Joker, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Jason Todd. It had no Cassandra Cain. Why? Well, as Jeff Loeb puts it, actually he had no reason after all. Because in one article, the creator of said series has gone on record and explained, no one cares about Chinese and Asian American people. And during Comic-Con during the release of Iron Fist, he went up and dressed in a karate gi.
And Jeff Loeb created a narrative that Barbara was the Batgirl, the only Batgirl, the only one iconic enough to be Batgirl in one issue. Barbara tells Cass she is a better Batgirl than she was. Batgirl was just an idea. No one can live up to it completely. Not even her, and her passion. Her compassion makes her a better fit.
And now in 2005, after Infinite Crisis, Dan Didio, former vice president of 2002, disliked specific legacy characters. Mainly legacy characters that overstepped from their mentors. And he especially had it out for the Bat Kids, including Batgirl. And Edward Ganta decided it was great to say, oh hey, let's have Cass return as a talkative racist dragon lady stereotype, Hollywood's notorious pedophile groomer Deathstroke, who was somehow idolized by male audiences and investigated in several sexual harassment charges laid down by female staff, and one very public incident in Comic-Con where a bunch of patrons had to get him off of a female and somehow promoted to executive editor by goddamn enabler. I'm done. I'm done. And took everything good about her character, her code of not taking life, her need of redemption, her need to have parental affection and guidance from family and siblings, all just thrown to the trash. She did appear in a couple of issues and cameos and made a few notable appearances, but the character, the idea of Cassandra Cain, was dead. And then the Flashpoint came, and DC Universe was rebooted yet again, this time with a relatively clean slate, wanting to be easier for new readers to enjoy or have a better understanding of the original characters. It was intended with rebooting said existing 52 DC characters and erasing prior storylines. But then again, it didn't erase the prior storylines because, as they said it, everything that happened prior is canon, but I don't know, that sounds confusing. And a new Batgirl series was released. However, it was a Barbara Gordon Batgirl series, and it was based on a decision from DC editorial that she wasn't popular enough.
I understand that DC wouldn't want to explore specific characters if they didn't sell, but according to previous sales data and trades, she was really popular among fans. And when other writers wanted to include her in future stories, they were told they were not allowed to. Why? Well, again, your guess is as good as mine. It was DC deliberately trying to erase an Asian American character from its DC continuity.
There was a Reddit post on why they never returned to her, saying that she became too popular and needed to focus more on more central heroes. And after years of focusing on said heroes and Infinite Crisis, much later, she wasn't that popular. 6 years. It wasn't just that DC didn't want to write her, they were deliberately trying to erase her existence. And it took the effort of Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV and James Tynion 4 to convince DC editorial that legacy characters are worth writing. So after almost 9 years of absence, she finally returned in Batman and Robin's Eternal. Most of her narrative and arc still there. However, the controversy of why she would want to remain orphan after everything, discovering her new family and such, still remain a question. And I don't want to blame Scott Snyder or James Tynion 4 or the writers of the series, because it could have been a decision from editorial, but we could never know. But the story of Cassandra Cain wasn't just a story of finding belonging in a family, but a story about second chances. Second chances from decisions she has made. Second chances from decisions she had no control over. Finding meaning and separating from her one singular purpose. To be a weapon where she never had the opportunity to live, to talk, to write. That she has and still has the opportunities to live, to talk, to write, and to discover the beauty and the importance of art and ballet. A form of art, a form of literature in which that is dependent on the performance of body language and dance. And she understood the work, the story, the message of it from that alone.
There was a book that came out named Shadow of the Batgirl, written by Sarah Kuhn, a reimagining of Cassandra Cain, which kept most of her origin intact, her life as an assassin, her use as a weapon, and opened for new readers and audiences who Cassandra was, who Cassandra meant to her and other fans. In her foreword, she didn't describe her as an idea or figure used as a message for anti-racism. She was a hero. She was, and simply is, a hero. I've always thought of myself as a sidekick. Growing up as an Asian American geek girl in a very small town, that's all I thought I could be. I loved reading about superheroes, fantastical beings committed to saving the world. but I never felt like I could be one, because I never saw anyone who looked like me centered in these stories. Cassandra Cain was one of the first Asian girl heroes I saw who actually got to be the hero. She wasn't a sidekick, she wasn't cannon fodder, she wasn't there to teach anyone a very important lesson about racism. She was freaking Batgirl, and she was biracial like me. I devoured every appearance, I obsessed over every story point. I adored the way creators Kelly Puckett and Damian Scott envisioned her. I fell in love with Cassandra Cain, and she helped me see that a superhero could look like me. As I was writing my own version, I realized that Cass also has trouble seeing herself as a hero. She just can't picture it. She thinks all she can be is a villain, a sidekick. She thinks she's disposable. I wanted to reach through the pages and tell her, you're not. You are everything. And if I can say just one more thing to Cass, it's this. Thank you for showing me I can be a hero. I hope you know that you're one too. And I doubt DC might see this or listen to me, but if you're listening to me, Cassandra deserves a second chance. She means so much to new and old fans and to readers such as myself that we are not trapped in being tools people made us to be, but we deserve a second chance to find what is best for ourselves and to forgive ourselves, as our past does not define who we can be. We are not destined to be villains of others' creation, but we can be our own hero. And Cassandra, thank you. Cassandra, thank you. And I hope DC does give you the second chance you deserve. For a good writer to write your stories, because you have so many more stories to tell. You are more than what you were originally made to be. You're more than what they expected you to be. You deserve a second chance. And you are not just a hero. You're not just Batgirl. You are everything to us. Thanks for watching.